Last time on New Surge Live. I thought about that because I mean, to me, if you would have told me 3 months ago Kevin Owens versus John Cena, I would have looked at you and said the match does not look good on paper, and on many ways it still doesn't.
No, he has to working with Cena on there. Let's be honest, Cena will up. I hate Cena, but Cena's going to come in there and try and work a little stiffer and harder, like when he did with Punk.
What's he going to do this time? Bust out a springboard rock bottom?
Yeah,
just to show the internet fans I can do.
I think the point is Cena is going to put the work in, and I don't like Cena. But the question, can Owens hang in a ring with Cena in a WWE setting, in a WWE style match?
You're right, because so far, only thing we've seen Owens do, really, is squash matches.
Yeah, and my fear is, what if Owens is exposed to be what he is, what Vince McMahon always thought Mick Foley was, and Vince McMahon's hard on for the hero he didn't create.
Oh, he's fat.
Okay? What if Owens is exposed by his own self as a limited guy who...
He's only exposed if WWE looks at John Cena. If Vince looks at Cena and gives him the go out there and show him who's boss. And Owens has no choice but to fall in line and play a good soldier this Sunday and do as he's told.
Let me ask you one more question, and I got to stop this. I'm going to stab myself if I don't. Because, God damn it, I got to watch in DC tomorrow morning.
Oh, man, you ain't but 5 hours away from me.
But does, shit, I just forgot. Oh, tell me, Cena versus Owens. Owens walking out with the belt. Or
it's not for the belt.
It's not for the belt.
It's not for the belt. It's
so
just champion. They booked it champion versus champion. So they could here's my prediction for Sunday. Either Cena goes over and people are squashed, or they do a schmoz to where somebody comes down and bucks with John Cena to move his shit forward, like Rusev or somebody. And what that does is it lets Owens get away cleanly and unaffected, and he goes back down to NXT to fuck with Finn Balor because he's got to defend the title against Balor.
Balor's amazing.
Yeah. Balor doesn't deserve to be there, but anyway, another show. Trying to get to the point. You got to get to bed. It's going to be a schmoz because you can't have Owens. They're not going to have Owens go over clean on John Cena. It's not going to happen. What's up, guys? Joe White here. Oh, boy. I feel like utter crap today. And I'm sorry if I am not my usual self here, but last night I had probably the worst case of heartburn that I've ever had in my entire life. It started at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, or actually, at about 7 o'clock. Because it was right after I ate nachos for dinner. I had nachos and just, oof. I can't do spicy food anymore. And I had that heartburn continue. And it was so bad, I was sitting there drinking milk and drinking, I busted out the old Jim Cornette remedy and had a Sprite, thinking that would help things, and that didn't help. I had two glasses of Sprite Zero, and then at 2:30 in the morning, it wasn't going away, so I decided just to go to Walmart and get the old Pepto-Bismol and the tropical flavored chalk calcium tablets, and took a couple of those, took some Pepto-Bismol, and I'm feeling better this morning, but I'm just going on about 4 hours of sleep right now, and not really feeling it this morning, but while I was up with the heartburn, I edited the first part of this video up until now, so I figure I might as well finish it. Windows 10. I want to talk a little bit about Windows 10 before I get into the Elimination Chamber thoughts. Had something about 2 to 3 months ago pop up in a Windows update, and it was an optional update that I downloaded for 8.1. I have to download all updates, even the optional ones, I reckon, because of the fact that if I don't, I can't connect to the VPN where I work at. It basically flags you and says, hey, your computer's not up to date, and before you connect to our VPN, you got to make sure your shit's together. So I went ahead and updated it, and then I noticed it put something on my computer immediately called GWX. GWX, I searched on the internet and even traced the file back through the registry and all that good stuff. Found out that it is a Windows file. Windows did put this on my computer. Microsoft did. And of course, GWX stands for Get Windows 10. Um, so last night, right at midnight, literally right at midnight on June 1st, the little icon for GWX is showing up in my system tray and it hasn't gone away since. I could go into the task manager, kill the process if I wanted to, but I'm not sure if I want to, because what happens is you pop up with it pops up with a screen wanting you to reserve your free copy. And I'll read you exactly what this says, and it says how this free upgrade works. 1, you reserve your free upgrade to Windows 10 now. It will download, and then it has an asterisk next to download, and that asterisk says, yes, free. This limited time upgrade offer is a full version of Windows 10, not a trial. 3 gigabyte downloads are required, and internet service fees may apply. It says once available, you can cancel your reservation at any time. 2 says you'll get a notification after Windows 10 is downloaded to your device. Install it right away, or pick a time that's good for you. Now notice it says device, which means they're releasing this for computers, tablets, cell phones. They want you, if you have a Windows device, they want you running Windows 10 across the board. This Windows 10, for people who are not familiar with it, this Windows platform was designed to run on a tablet, a cell phone, or a computer. It's cross the board, cross platform. It's their main. If you're Windows based, you're going to be running this in the future. That's it. It's good for people like me who are in the tech industry and the IT industry, because if somebody says, hey, Windows 10, and you're familiar with it and it operates the same across all 3 platforms, then you know what to tell the customer to do. And the customer could be familiar with it on all 3 platforms. Now, granted, it's going to operate a little bit differently on a computer than it would on a tablet or phone, but whatever. After it's installed, basically what this says is enjoy. And then this has like 5 little tabs on here that you can click on. Windows 10 is familiar and easy to use. The start menu is back, and you can use it the way you want with a keyboard, a mouse, or a touch. Some apps sold separately, vary by market. Designed for speed, Windows 10 starts fast, resumes fast, and comes with more security features than ever, and is designed to work with the hardware and software that you already use, plus multitask like a master with the ability to snap up to 4 things on the screen at once. So no more the side-by-side. You can have your desktop up in this corner, this in this corner, this in this corner, and that's I'm kind of curious to see how that's going to work, because I work in the tech industry. So I have to have, I got 3 screens here. So I wonder what it's going to be like to have those 4 screens up, and for my operating system to be able to go from one program down here, like the billing program or the account program here that I use to pull up customer accounts here, and then the note-taking tool that I use over here, and then to have it pop up with something else over here that I could use, like my flow charts that we use, and etc. Kind of curious to see how that works. Now, granted, it's probably going to be small depending on the size of your monitor, but the fact that you now have 4 screens at your disposal, and to see how that's going to work within the operating system and how bad it's going to bog it down, it's going to be interesting to see. Windows 10 is packed with new innovations like Cortana, your personally trained digital assistant. There's also all new browsers designed for getting stuff done, and built-in great apps like photos, maps, messaging, music, and more, and video. I wonder if they've released a movie maker for this. I'm not too sure that I want to upgrade now. Discover new favorites in the Windows Store. Your one-stop shop for great apps, blah, blah, blah. Apps available in my market. So that's Windows 10. It's there. It's coming. They're pushing the upgrade. If you click on it, it has a little thing up there that says learn more on windows.com. You click on it, it takes you to go.microsoft.com, which then goes to microsoft.com. Earlier today, when I checked on it around 2, 3 o'clock this morning, the page was down. They quote a CNN article, and they tell you have a Windows 10 Q&A, And of course, if you click on the Windows 10 Q&A, it takes you to sorry, the page you requested cannot be found. Way to go, Microsoft. Um, of course, right now, I don't know how. I don't know if you want to download this. Of course, now this is not going to be downloading the trial version. This is going to, or the builder beta version. This is the full version of the operating system. This is it. Um, but I wouldn't download it just yet because what's going to have to happen is people like Steam, people like Movie Maker, people like Firefox, everybody else is going to have to make versions to cope with this. And I'm sure it's already in the works. I'm sure that developers out there, software developers, and have already gotten access to this, and they've contacted Microsoft and they said, hey, we want to make this. How do we make that? And how do we make it for your operating system? I'm sure Microsoft has already let them in on the secrets. So that's enough about Windows 10. Just thought I'd put that out there. So if you see like a little white Windows logo on your bottom right hand corner in your system tray, that's what it is. I'm going to go ahead and actually kill it here for me. But anyway, like if you were... Yeah, it's labeled as GWX, and actually it doesn't take up much of the system tray. It's only taking up about 0.8 megabytes of memory for me right now. But I went ahead and killed it anyway. I also want to kill OneDrive. Ugh, I hate OneDrive. I so hope that OneDrive is not built into the registry of that operating system. It probably is because they want you to use their cloud. I don't like the idea of cloud servers. Sorry, I don't. They can be hacked. Then people got your shit. No. Elimination Chamber was there on last night, and by God, did this show have two good things and one bad thing. Or a lot of bad things, actually. The two chamber matches were shit. Sorry. You took the gimmick of the thing and made it, you put a bunch of geeks in there, and it was just... Not that being a geek is a bad thing, but still, when it comes to wrestling, it is. Yeah. When the wrestlers, when something happens that doesn't go according to plan, back in the day when that would happen, let's say Ricky Steamboat was wrestling Flair, and something didn't go according to plan, Flair would grab a headlock, or Steamboat would grab a headlock, and they would discuss it in the middle of the ring. Okay, what do you want to do now? Okay, I'll push you off the ropes. You meet me with a clothesline. You pop up and tackle, blah, 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 Last night during the chamber match, something goes wrong with the, in the middle of the match, and everybody just freezes like, oh shit, they might as well have, So then all of a sudden Dolph starts calling spots, and my God, last night, I don't know if they had the microphones on the actual cameras turned up, but my God, you heard a lot of talking and a lot of calling of spots last night in all of the matches, especially Cena. Oh my Lord, that opening headlock. Give me a clothesline, then I'll give you one. You could hear that plain as day. And then the crowd mics. As soon as Kevin Owens' music hit, you could hear them take that fader on that board and move it down for the crowd mics. It was like lead balloon time. There were fans out there cheering Kevin Owens. And there were plenty of Fight Owens fight signs. So he had a following. And even when John Cena entered, they kept the mics down to stop the whole John Cena sucks thing going. Because it was pretty clear that's what was happening. WWE needs to stop that and let the crowd reaction come forward. I know they don't want the live crowds influencing the TV audience, but to me it's a lot more fun when you have a crowd as into it, as it has been lately. And they need to stop killing the crowd mics. So the New Day are still tag team champions. Okay, whatever. Ryback is the Intercontinental Champion. Whatever. Sorry, I'm just not a Ryback fan. I never have been. I don't like the whole. I just don't like the gimmick. But anyway, getting to the real meat of the night, I'm gonna save Owens and Cena for last because I have a lot of theories about that. And as you could tell by what my intro to this video was, I kind of got a bit of an egg on my face today, and I'll admit it. Anyway, we'll get to that. But Rollins versus Ambrose was good. I did not like the dusty finish, of course. Not a lot of people did. But then again, did you really expect Ambrose to walk out of there with the belt? Did you really think they were going to let him do it? They're not going to sit there and throw the internet fans and the smarks two bones in one night. It just ain't going to happen. I was expecting Roman to come down and turn heel, which I totally think that's coming. But either that or one of those two is turning heel. Ambrose or Roman is turning heel. But the look on Rollins' face when the dusty finish happened and he's still the champion was just priceless. It's, Ambrose was walking out with the belt. Oh, like, you can't go get another belt. Give me a break. This whole deal in this day and age with I'm stealing the title when any fan could go to a merchandise stand and buy one. Give me a break. Come on. Well, Joe, the real title's much heavier and bigger. Guess still, nobody can notice that on TV. Anyway. I liked the match. It was a good match. Told a pretty good story. Man. I swear, one night it's the night of the super kicks in pro wrestling and with the young shits and everybody else, whoever is throwing the super kicks, and now it's like last night was the night of tornado DDTs. Every match it seemed like had a tornado DDT in it. Oh man, I think John Cena and Owens had two in their match, but anyway, let's get to John Cena and Owens. This match right here, and I'm going to go on record as saying this match right here showed that John Cena can bust his ass and work when he wants to. Not when he needs to, but when he wants to, because he needs to every night. But Cena, and I don't want to sit there and say, well, John Cena put over Owens. Okay, he was booked that way. Give me a break. Cena made Owens look like $1 million in this match, yeah, but I look at it this way. What Owens said at the end of that match was truth. And the crowd, the crowd was still majority, all the Cena marks were still booing him, and you know what? It's almost as if Owens cut a babyface promo at the end of the match because he told the truth. He didn't lie. I started the fight. I finished the fight. I just beat your guy who's been around for, 10 years. And here's some veteran advice because I've been doing this longer than you. Go away because I'm here now and I'm better than you. And I just proved that I'm better than you. Your time is not, my time is now. The champ is here. He used his own words. He took John Cena's MO right away from him, shoved it up his ass. Owens is a babyface. If this were the 80s, Owens would be babyface. I mean, he's coming out and telling the truth and being an arrogant prick about it, If this was the 80s, Owens would be a babyface. Sorry, it's just the way it is. I mean, to me, Owens is a babyface. And he wants to talk about Cena having so many shirts. Rick Hendrickson pointed out to me, Owens has had 3 different shirts in 3 weeks. I love it. But anyway, the match was just beautiful. Aside from the fact that you could hear Cena, and of course, Botchamania is going to be all over this one. Ugh. This whole pay-per-view was just tailored for Botchamania, pretty much. But Owens was able to get his shit in. He shined like a star. Cena proved that he can work that stiff, strong style match, which, oh my lord. Owens pulled out all the stops in this one, from the senton bomb, to the swanton bomb, to the moonsault. Fat boy can fly. Let's just say that. He proved last night. I think Owens proved that you don't have to be 6'6", cut like a goddamn, cut with a chisel and weigh only 250 pounds in order to, work. The whole dad bod thing's going around. Owens is the epitome of dad bod. He's got a little bit of muscle on him, but he's got a gut too. And he just went out there and showed that you don't have to be a fucking chiseled out toothpick in order to work. Samoa Joe, all you WWE fans who have never seen Samoa Joe's going to prove the exact same thing. And this is what kills me about this, is that they've taped 4 weeks of NXT TV. At least. Not knowing how the booking for Chamber's going to go. I mean, I guess you could say Triple H knew, blah, 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 but Vince could change his mind at any given time and fuck with those plans. It's happened, so I wonder how NXT's going to go, because the promos are already cut, unless you do something backstage, at a later date, but the shows themselves are already being cut and put in the can and sent to the network, Now they could always do like they did before when they did the Arnold Classic, and that was, when they went to Ohio. They cut 4 shows, but they put that Ohio show in there and still managed to go with the flow. But Owens now is your NXT champion. How you have okay, after coming off a win with John Cena, and I know you could say, oh, it's NXT, it doesn't matter. Yes, it does. When you're telling your fans to watch it, and when you're putting the continuity of that show on your network, it matters. That show now matters. If people want to believe me or not, that show is slowly starting to become part of the WWE synergy. It's slowly starting to matter in the grand scheme of things, storyline-wise. So, Balor has a title match against Owens coming up, probably at the next TakeOver special. How are you going to have someone like Finn Balor beat the guy who just beat John Cena? Now, granted, I think that Kevin Owens somewhat needed the NXT, and oh my God, did I sound redneck there? NXT title in order for this whole John Cena program to work. Then again, maybe he didn't, because he's Kevin fucking Owens and got a promo of the best of them. But anyway, I digress. I don't think he needed the belt, but then again, having it did help. I don't see how Owens, if Finn Balor beats Owens for the belt, and you have people now that are going to watch NXT, you have subscribers to the network that have not been watching NXT, but now they see this guy Owens on Raw holding the NXT title, and your developmental champion just beat your 15-time WWE champion. Clean. In the middle of the ring. Which I'm happy about. I couldn't, that's how you make new stars. There's no doubt about it. You got to beat the old stars to make new stars. You got to make an impact. You got to have that upset victory sometimes. I don't see what they're. I mean, granted, it's just a fucking developmental territory, but you see what I'm getting at? How does somebody beat Owens in NXT now? What does that say when Owens, the guy who just beat John Cena, gets beat in the developmental territory by a developmental talent? I don't know. They can make it work. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this. Video game wise, I got my down payment, if you will, on Arkham Knight, so I could get that DLC with it and play as Harley Quinn and all that good stuff, which is fucking awesome. I'm gonna love it. If you haven't seen my video where I pretty much analyzed the gameplay footage trailer, if you will, go check it out. As my phone buzzes here, let's see. Could be something important. Sorry, life calls. Anyway, this Thursday, I'm interviewing Casey Carlisle. For those who don't know Casey Carlisle, she is a former NWA Women's Champion. She's the current Valkyrie champion. There's Valkyrie is a women's fed started up in New York here recently, and she's their first and current champion. Um, so that right there basically is happening Thursday. If you have questions, sorry, life is happening here. Just found out something crazy, but anyway. If you want to send a question to Casey Carlisle, or if you have a question for Casey Carlisle, email it to newsurgelive@yahoo.com and put questions for Casey in the subject line. Also, I will release a tweet on the day of the show, as well as a couple Facebook posts saying, when that interview is happening. I'm tentative at 4 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. I might do it live via Google Plus. I don't know how that works. I don't know if I could patch the Skype into it or not. Probably not. So I don't think it's going to be live. Yeah, it's not going to be live because you can't patch Skype into Google Plus. But anyway, because I don't have a soundboard. Um, that's next year. But anyway, it will be up on YouTube immediately afterwards. And if you have a question for her, I send a tweet. I will give you the hashtag to use, and I will give you the Twitter. You always know it's @WrestlingTruck. But Thursday, I'll be putting up that. And if you want to have a question asked live, we will take Twitter questions. I will also take Facebook questions if you have them. I'll dedicate a thread to it on the New Surge Live Facebook page, as well as my personal Facebook page. But that's happening. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of all this Kevin Owens versus John Cena deal, how it's going to go, how this affects NXT now, because it does. How the WWE title gets overshadowed again, but that's beside the point. That's for another day. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm sorry this is not more of an exciting and put together video. Again, I'm feeling like crap. But we'll see you guys down the road. Thank you so much for watching.